सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Hari Om. So we have been studying Ātma Bodha, beautiful quintessence of the essence of Vedanta sadhana, beautifully given by Adi Shankara. And we have seen that in this text, Adi Shankaracharya ji gave many examples to show that Atma is Swayam Prakasha Swarupaha, Nishkriyaha, Asangaha, etc. So we have seen so far that Atma Chaitanyam is the substratum in the 20th verse, and Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya, taking the support of that Atma Chaitanyam, Deha Indriya Manodhiyaha Swakriyeshu Vartante. The body is able to function in its own area, limitations, whatever the body functions are. Mind is able to function. Buddhi is able to function. Able to discriminate, etc. Whatever the buddhi function is, whatever the mind function is, all this is happening because of the support of Atma Chaitanya. Surya Alokam Yatha Janaha. Last time we saw example, just as the sunlight, taking the support of sun. Sun is Nishkriyaha. Sun is simply stands in the sky. But in the presence of sun, we are able to do all types of activities, all kriyas, various functions through body, mind and intellect. Similarly, in the presence of Atma, my body, my prana, my mind, my indriyas, my buddhi are able to work. Very beautiful. That means what? Our focus should be shifted from the little I as a body I, mind I, intellect I, etc. to the I should be shifted to by practice, by awareness, by being in the present, by Vedanta Vakyeshu Sada Ramantaha, by reveling in the Vedanta Vakya, the Vedanta Sutras, by doing manana, by reflecting on them. Always we remind ourselves that we are the pure eternal consciousness. This is Vedanta sadhana. So continuing the same line of thought, what is to be established is Ātma is Satyam, Tadanyat Sarvam Mithya. Atman is real. Other than that, everything is appearance. Okay. Remember, friends, one thing. Because of our incapacity to withdraw from the appearances, I'm going slow, or to rise above appearances. So everything appears to be real for us. Like suppose there is a pain in the body. It is real for me. I feel it. Mental pain. I feel it. But the question is, I place myself in the body. I place myself in the mind, identified with the body and the mind. Presently, I say I am in pain. Many experiments have proved when the mind is trained to disassociate, detach, and there's no pain. Like in deep sleep, you go, when there's a lot of pain is there, patient is put into a deep sleep state, and he doesn't know the pain of it. Pain is there, maybe there. But the mind again wakes up after 5 hours, 6 hours, then he feels pain. Therefore, I'm just telling you the great truth of which was discovered by the rishis. That it will come also in subsequent slokas in the Ātma Bodha also. That the real culprit which is creating bondage in us is the presence of unrefined mind, unpurified mind, untrained mind. Therefore, slowly our sadhana is either through meditation, through awareness, by reminding ourselves the teachings of Vedanta. Somehow we must try to transcend these limitations. With the Guru's grace, of course. And it was transcended by many people. Many Mahatmas have attained this state. And all those Mahatmas who have attained this state are not always popular in the world. So, our sadhana is in Atma Bodha that how much we are remembering these teachings of the Shastras, of the teachers, and how much we are alert to the purpose of our life as to discover our own essential self. So with these important points, let us enter into 21st verse. What Shankaracharya says about it. Dehendriya gunan karmani amale satchidatmani adhyasyantya vivekena gagane nilatadivat. Dehendriya gunan karmani amale satchidatmani adhyasyantyavivekéna gagane neelatadivat. And the examples are fantastic. And examples help us in contemplation. So here he says, so far he talked about earlier functions. Deha, Indriya, Vyaparas. They were talked about. That is Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Koshas, their functions. They were talked about in the past in Ātma Bodha text. Now, then all the functions are talked about. What is the role of Ātma? Ātma role is Kevala Sakshi. Kevala Adhyakshatva, presiding. Maya Adhyakshena Prakrutihi Suyate Sacharacharam. Bhagavan ke, my Adhyakshatvena means he doesn't do anything, but in his presence, all the Prakriti. So it is only presiding principle. So, but what do we do? Out of ignorance, we superimpose all these functions of all the anatmas, body, prana, activities of anatma. We superimpose. Superimpose where? On that presiding Atma, principle of Atma. Very carefully. So this is actually almost repetition of such thought only, earlier thought. So here he wants to go kosha by kosha. Deha, Indriya, Gunan, Karmani. Very beautiful. So in this sloka, he takes first, in this sloka, two koshas are taken. Deha and Indriya. Pranamaya kosha. Annamaya and Pranamaya. Koshas are taken in this sloka. In the next sloka, we will talk about Manomaya kosha. Then we will speak about Vijnanamaya kosha. So kosha after kosha, how adhyasa is taking place. Adhyasa means superimposition. Superimposition means what? Because the mind, body is superimposed on Atma, even though the Atman is Nishkriyaha, there is no kriya in it, no action in it, it is only the presiding principle, like Surya Narayana in the sky. But we superimpose all the activities of the body, mind and intellect, etc. on Atman. That is called Adhyasa. Superimposition. So then you start claiming all that which is not belonging to Atma as though they are belonging to Atma. Friends, sadhana is awareness only. Anybody can be enlightened. Master says anyone can be enlightened. Anytime. A great master says, beautiful statement, I like that statement. He says, your enlightenment is only a realization away. Your enlightenment is only a realization away. Because you are already that. What is realization means? Just you have to know that, oh, I thought I was that. I am not that. I am this. That's it. It doesn't take much time. It's a realization. But the process to, because we are ignorant, we are so much of clouded, so much clouds are there around us. The process to reach that final step is taking a lot of time. So Deha Indriya stands for Annamaya and Pranamaya. Gunan, Deha Indriya, Gunan, their attributes. Meaning what? Deha is what? Stulatvam, Ksharatvam. I am Brahmana, I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya, I am Shudra, I am black, I am tall, I am fat, I am thin, I am old, I am young, I am fair. All these things are all belonging to body, not to Atman. Similarly, Pranamaya Kosha, hunger and thirst belong to Pranamaya Kosha. Did you observe children at one particular age when they started speaking, and they don't grow the sense of I yet. They are not grown yet in the small children. You must have observed this definitely. When I give example, it will make it clear. They would say, for example, a boy's name is Ram. He is named as Ram. Everybody calls him Ram, Ram, Ram. So everyone calls him Ram, Ram, Ramo, Rama, Ram, Ram, whatever it is. In our case, if somebody calls me with my name, understanding is what? I. So somebody Swamiji. An understanding of that Shabda called Swamiji turns out to be understanding created in me is I. I. In the children, did you observe? It won't, at one particular age, before the ego occupies them. So they will say, everybody says that Ram is hungry. Suppose that talk is going on. He also will go, Ram is hungry. Ram is thirsty. Ram wants to sleep. He will not say I. I hope you observed it. Meaning what? Like for example, it's as good as saying that my vehicle wants petrol. But I don't say I want petrol. I want petrol means I drink petrol. That understanding isn't there. It's not there. Even though I may use the word I want petrol, the understanding is that I don't drink petrol. I want petrol means this vehicle needs petrol, and the vehicle is different from me. I am the driver of it. I can separate myself from the machine anytime, driving vehicle. I don't belong to it. I mean, I am not attached to it permanently. I use it and come out of it. My identification with that is not always. So, similarly, he says, so that's called superimposition. See? Suppose instead of saying the body is fat, our body is thin. The children says that I said Ram is hungry. But we say I am fat. And because of superimposition, whole industry is running on it. Industry of so many things. Because I am identified with the body, then the question is I must look beautiful. Then how to become beautiful? Then whole dhyasa, away my entire mind goes to body only. So I am very hesitated to eat this, not to eat this. This alone I eat. And whole life is concentrated only on the body. Dekho Maharaj, great people have warned us when we were studying in Sandipani. Or Acharya used to say, very important thing he would say, that don't convert the means as a goal. Like he would say, he would warn us, like physical exercise, yogasanas, pranayama is necessary to keep yourself healthy. But that is not the end of life. So he says, some people are overdoing those things. Only those things. But Hatha Yoga Pradipika says Hatha Yoga is given only to make yourself fit so that you can understand the Yoga Sutras, Patanjali Yoga Sutra sadhana. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there is no asanas are mentioned. He simply says Turasakam asana. That's it. What I am telling is that when we get caught up either in a body level, in either way in beautification or identified with the body, I want to make myself beautiful, that's one kind of a thought. Or I'm really, I wanted to do various kriyas at the body level, yoga asanas and yoga kriyas and all that. Then I wanted to show it, demonstrate, and then public performances or whatever it is. They're all, teachers are different. Teachers are there to teach us. They have to show. But my life is that you have to decide. Are you a teacher of yoga? That's a different issue. Then you have to do it. You have to teach millions of people. So don't get caught up in the body identification. Spending money, time, instead of knowing the Ashtavakra, realize the truth. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. So, from utility point of view, from whatever is to be given importance, due importance to be given to health and exercises, but more because of my identification with my body, I convert the means into as a goal only of life. Then I am identified at the body level. Then I suffer in life. Similarly, hunger and thirst is required. Hunger is there. You have to feed. So if the jnani says, okay, this body is hungry, prana is demanding food. Okay, I will feed the food. That is his thought. For vyavahar ke liye, he may say that, I am hungry, I am thirsty, give me food. He may say for conversational purposes. But understanding is different. So therefore, and what is the nature of Ātma? He says, adhyasyanti. How? Avivekena, because of ignorance. Avivekena. Gurudev calls it the fools. Fools because of their identification. So very beautiful, friends. Adhyasyanti, superimpose. All the body activities and pranamaya activities. How example? Gagane Neelatadivat. In the space, you see blue. Then you come to conclusion. Sky is blue. Is sky blue? So people think that God painted sky with blue color. Blue is an illusion, an appearance. How does sky appear to you? Or you can say that it is appearing as blue. Just as blueness is superimposed on sky, sky is not blue. Similarly, the activities of the body and the pranamaya sharira, in these two are taken now in this sloka, are superimposed on Atman. So now, here afterwards, when we use I with respect to body and pranamaya sharira, you have to use I. Otherwise, vyavahara is not possible. But what is your knowledge in it, inside? How do you feel? When you say, I want petrol. तुम पेट्रोल पीने कब से लग गए? When did you start taking petrol, drinking petrol? Arey Buddhu, when I said I want petrol, it doesn't mean I drink petrol, it is for my vehicle. That is understood. So with the knowledge I have, with that knowledge when I don't have, that means I am far away from truth. So this is how, with respect to body and prana identification, Shankaracharya spoke about. Now next verse, Manasa Upadhi, mind. So in the mind, whatever the qualities of the mind are there, we will superimpose on Ātman. What is it? Ajñānān mānasopadhehe kartrutvādīni chātmani kalpyante bhugate chandre chalanādi yatham bhasaha. Ajñānān mānasopadhehe kartrutvādīni chātmani kalpyante bhugate chandre chalanādi yatham bhasaha. Another example is given. With respect to what? Manomaya kosha guna karma adhyasaha. The qualities of mind, functions of the mind are superimposed on Ātma. When they're superimposed on Ātman, I tell you so many, because so many problems, I mean, all problems in life are only because of adhyasa. In Vedanta language, if you ask, what is the problem? For all problems, whether it is global problems, for individual problems, societal problems, national problems, for all problems, Vedanta replies so beautifully. What is that? Adhyasa. Meaning, superimposition or considering which is not you as I, considering which is not me as I, is the problem. Now see, when you stand before a mirror, there are varieties of mirrors are there. In some exhibitions, you can see, you stand before one type of mirror, you look so fat. In some mirror, you look so thin, thinner than what you are, or fatter than what you are in other mirror. Various types of mirrors are there. They present you and you can laugh. When you stand before that, you don't cry. You laugh at yourself. Think. So even though I am appearing as somebody in the mirror, I don't call myself as fat or thin or round, etc. I don't superimpose that appearance on me. Rather, I enjoy it. Because I am wise. Similarly, what happens is that adhyasa of guna and karma, superimposition of the attributes or properties and functions of the mind on Atma is discussed here in this shloka. What are they? Ajnanat, because on account of ignorance. Manasopadhehe, manas manarupi upadhi, mind upadhehe. Kartrutvadini cha atmane kalpyante. So Kartrutva bhava, Bhoktrutva bhava, and various other functions, meaning I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. Who is enjoying? As we said yesterday, before, the Atman is only Adhyaksha. It is neither Bhokta nor Karta. So Kartrutvadini Atmani Kalpyante. Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, all the functions. So Kartrutva stands for all functions. Guna also we have to add. Raga, Dvesha. All those. Again, that will come in next sloka also. So various functions of the mind. I am Sukhi, I am Dukhi, Kama, Kami, Krodhi, Lobhi. So when this is what meditation is. In meditation, every day, I am practicing how to free myself from the clutches of mind. I am entangled. I am so much entangled. So I'm slowly, every day, I spend some time and my awareness, slowly, एक धागा, एक thread, एक something I'm separating, something I'm loosening the knots and entanglements. Slowly, with patience. See? Ajnanat manasopadhehe kartrutvadini chatmane. Normally, raga and dvesha we keep in manomaya kosha. Because manomaya kosha is full of raga dvesha. But in Shankaracharya here, next sloka, he says raga dvesha are in buddhi. And kartrutva, actually we keep it in kartrutva bhava, we keep it in vijnanamaya kosha. I am doer. But Shankaracharya brought here to mind. Because both are, in a way, so a lot of explanations are there. I am not going into it. So, but mind and intellect are vritti rupam only. So specific reason is not given here. So question is, all are kartrutva, bhoktrutva, raga, dvesha, everything are all superimposed on the Atma. So earlier sloka spoke about Annamaya kosha and Pranamaya kosha. Now Manomaya kosha attributes are superimposed on Atman. A lot of very awareness is required, my dear friends. "24/7, I must know that I am that. Then, as Gurudev says, we will be transported to a new dimension of consciousness. And it is the experience of Gurudev. No example is given. How we superimpose the activities of the mind, functions of the mind on Atman. He says, Ambugate Chandre Chalanadi Yatha Ambasaha. Now the question is, there's a water in a lake you take, and in that lake the Chandrama, moon, is reflected in the water. When waters are moving, the moon appears to be moving. So Chalanadi means movement. The Chalanadi karma belongs to whom? Water. And that Chalanadi karma is superimposed on what? On the moon. What is the moon? It doesn't have any movement. Moon is not moving. Not in real sense of astrological sense, in the example I'm talking. So don't stretch examples beyond. So moon is stagnant, but it is reflecting in the water. Waters are moving, and the water movement is superimposed on the moon. Then I call it as Chandrama is moving. So just as the movement of the water is superimposed on the moon, which is not moving, similarly, the movements of Anatma, the Vritti movements are there. Like water means Vritti here, Vrittis. Because of this water changing, thoughts are changing, I superimpose all these movements on Atman. Why? Because there is a pratibimba of Atma Chaitanyam in the mind. Because there is a moon reflecting in the water, I got confused. So Chandra Pratibimba, the reflection of the moon in the water, because of the reflection, I got confused, stating that the moon is moving. Similarly, Atma Pratibimba is there, reflection of self in mind. So the Vrittis are moving, Chalanadi. Ambasaha. Here Vrittis are moving. So the movement of Vritti superimposed on the reflection. Then I call that as I. Then I say that I am disturbed, I am agitated, I am angry, I am happy, I am unhappy, I am frustrated, I am dejected, I am depressed. मैं आपको यहाँ पे सावधान कराना चाहता हूँ सबको. See the tragedy of our thinking and lifestyle. When can we do sadhana? Only when health is there. We have not grown to that level in spiritual sadhana where, in spite of ill health at the body level, mind is withdrawn and undisturbed and focused on Brahman. That is a higher state. If you have achieved it because of your sadhana through our lives, that's a great thing. Then ill health may not trouble you because you are a yogi, so you can know how to withdraw. Even though in the diseased condition of the body, your self is radiating, your focus is only on that. Internally, you are undisturbed. If you have reached that state, there is nothing to say. But if you have not reached that state, headache, I can't meditate. Fever, I can't meditate. Body level I'm talking. Body pains, I can't meditate. So health is important for our spiritual seekers. Only for that purpose only, asana, pranayama, ahara niyamas are all given by rishis so that Baba keep fit. And what do we do when the body is fit in condition? We don't do sadhana. We enjoy. मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, दे दो 4-5 पराठा खा लेंगे, मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ, जब चाहे खाओ, जब चाहे तब सो, जैसे रहना चाहते हो वैसे रहो. That's tragedy. And when we become sick, we remember God. And we repent that we have not done sadhana. At that time when mind becomes chanchal, all the superimpositions, we superimpose all the disturbances of mind on Ātma and suffer. Suppose I have been doing sadhana. To the extent you are progressing in sadhana, to that extent you grow, rise above the mind. That is, greater extent, to the extent you grow spiritually, greater is your detachment from the mind, or less is your identification with the mind. Lesser the identification with the mind, greater is your power to contemplate, and greater the power of contemplation, more closer you are to your own self in your journey. Therefore, in this, very beautifully, ajnanat, only due to ignorance. Why should I superimpose the movement of water on the moon when the moon is absolutely still, above all the disturbances, above the ocean, above the lakes, above the water? Full moon shining in his own glory. Beautiful. So here afterwards, pada prayoga, shabda prayoga you do. Oh, I'm quite happy today. You say that, no problem. But internally, the knowledge is that I am the witness of this happiness. I am the witness of this sorrow. Kevalo sakshi nirgunas. I am nirgunaha kevala sakshi. Okay. So we could study only 2 verses today. And tomorrow, Acharya will speak about, Shankaracharya will talk about Buddhau. No, Buddhi Upadhi. Buddhi Kosha is also superimposed on Ātma. So this awareness is required to free ourselves from this ocean of samsara. Okay? So tomorrow we will meet. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Samasta Guru Parampara Ki Jai. Thank you. Hari Om.